So we have some repeating number patterns going on in here. If you can see, we have 2 9s and we have 3 5s actually, because the 4 and the 1 add up to a 5, and we have a 5 here and a 5 here, and then we have a 10, which is also a breakdown of 5 in many ways. So you could actually say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5s, because there's 2 5s and a 10, but that's stretching things a bit. However, I feel at the moment that everything we do in life is stretching things a bit. We're stretching our economy, we're stretching the way we decide to do things, we're stretching our understanding of the system that's taken place, of this whole virus issue. We're stretching the testing or the undertaking or the uplifting of the vaccines, if you like. We're stretching our awareness, we're stretching our whole self. So maybe that's a message for this month of June for you guys, stretching yourself out a little bit and not being too afraid to be moving ahead and coming to the conclusion of something. So if some of you have been a bit worried about a conclusion, or coming to the end of a project, or coming to an intersection within, say, a relationship, and pondering, do I stay with this person? Do I move on? Do we see if we can change it or bring it into a different awareness or a different level of positivity? Do I move on from my house? Do I move on from a career? Do I decide, all of these endings that we could be coming to. So instead of feeling fear about them or allowing them to slow you down or keep you locked into one aspect or stop you from taking the next step and opening the door, there's this feeling of letting all the past go, or letting go of any worry or fear, and being present and moving forward. And because we can see these 9s that you've got, these 8s, and then the 10. So you've got a lot of numbers that are really pushing, as if to say you are coming to the end of some cycle or evolution or revolution in something you've been doing. So because this is a general reading, only you will know what we're really talking about. Is it to do with your love life? Is it to do with your higher self? Is it to do with your spiritual awakening or awareness, or a career, or your finances, or your investments, or how you feel about life in general, your belief systems, or integrity values even? So depending on where this is pulling at you from, will depend how deeply it's resonating and where you think the message is coming from and what it's delivering for you. But if we come back to some of these, the 9 of Summer, which was the very first card you got, which I think has quite a lot of weight in it, is the wish card, and it says wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, and a magical time of life. So something that you may have been trying to cohesively bring together or have it happen could be culminating right now. Now, sometimes I feel that when the wish card, or for instance the Magician, which I think both of those cards are similar in energy fields, when they turn up, they are asking you to be very aware of opportunities coming your way and that you uplift them. Because sometimes our wishes that we really wish we might have, for instance, a new career or an opportunity for advancement in life one way or another, sometimes those wishes are granted to us, but we just don't see how to uplift them. So there's work to be done, in as much that you must be ready to see the opportunities when they come and grab them. It's very, very rare that a golden egg lands in your backyard, from space, or a goose flying overhead or something. Most of the time you actually have to go out and look for the golden egg and do something about it. And I still feel that that's the case even when the 9 of Cups, which is the wish card, turns up. So another one that is a beautiful card for you, which goes very well with it, is the other Cups card you got, which is the 10 of Cups. And it says, an emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, and people you can trust in your life. So there may be this beautiful honor or friendship around that feels very wholesome or has your back, and you feel safe and protected and nurtured with them. And the friendship can be from family members or extended family members, or people you feel who are like your family in life. There's a possibility that when this card comes out in traditional readings, that there may be a gift of some sort or a loan that is in the air if you are in need of some sort of boosting or bolstering to your finances. Sometimes it can be like a grandparent that could loan you some money, or maybe a loan you have applied for will come through. Those two I feel could be really tied together. It could be that some of you have been asking for or wanting money, maybe a job increase, maybe a new job altogether, maybe a loan to purchase something, or maybe a gift gets given to you that is beneficial, which might have some financial background energy to it. It could be a gift of something valuable, for instance, like jewellery or an artworks or some shares or something like that as well. So these could be tied in together, and they seem to be, given that that was the first one, this could be a feeling or a flow that comes through for June. With these ones over here that we have here, 5 is the Hierophant card. He's very much about following the rules and abiding to, in many ways, your own higher calling and that knowledge of something that's beyond us sometimes. But he often turns up when he's asking you to remain stoic and, you know, correct in your dealings with yourself and with people. He could be called a law conformer. So usually he does things in a balanced and fair way. He can often be about an aspect of yourself to do with the esoteric or philosophical or religious as well. And sometimes this can be stirred up in you at this time when the Hierophant is around. Some of you may attend events that are attached to religious ceremonies such as church events or weddings and christenings, things along those lines as well. So the message on this card is do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you, and being involved with a spiritually minded community. So the 14, which is your other major arcana, which is the Temperance card, and that she calls it here balance. So bringing balance into perspective and taking everyone's input or views into consideration. It says merge viewpoints to create a better solution and take your time. There's no need to rush. Now, given that there's this great big lion here, I wonder too if a Leo may be representative in the energy field here. It could be a Leo rising or moon, and it might even be your own moon or rising signs as well. So there may be some requirement to bring balance into relationships that include Leo type energy or fire sign energy. And it may be, again, that we're talking about relationships or even in a work atmosphere where there is a need to listen to other people's perspectives. So sometimes we get fully engaged in our own journey in life and we forget to truly stop and listen. And listening is one of the biggest components of communication for us as humans. And our biggest realm of life here in this body, in this timeline, is communication, because that's how humans evolve. That's how we deal with ourselves and deal with others, which form relationships. So communication is a key aspect to the functioning of the human psyche and the human evolution. And as I said, listening is a very, very powerful part of that. And I think today we often do less listening than we do talking. So the message in here is to listen to something that's coming in for you. It could be very powerful. It could be very insightful. It might be something that brings unity, because unity and balance actually go hand in hand. They work cohesively well to create a stronger union. So there's something in here that if you are wanting to bring about more harmony or more balance into something, the message is to listen to others' perspectives or viewpoints, because there might be a very powerful proposition that comes from that could bring about great balance and unity, which I think could be very beneficial for you as you journey forward. Now, this balance and unity might come from your own intellectual discourse that you have with yourself through meditation or through journaling or through dream talk or astral travel as well. So listen to the messages that you receive at the psychic level, because Scorpio, you guys in particular, are our psychic bunch of the 12 astrological signs. You're very tuned into that whole etheric realm. It's part of your very innate being. So that seems to be a message that's coming through from those two cards in particular. And given that they are the major arcana cards, they also hold a lot of power and weight. So those two cards are also very important to focus on in terms of, if you were looking at a reading, you know, what's the most important message coming through? These two are important to take on stock and to, you know, really focus into and see what the message is telling you specifically. These three over here, even though I've broken up the 9 and from the 9 over there, these three do seem to go together a little bit. So we have 2 swords and we have a wands card. This wands card is one of feeling as though that you have had a lot going on, and you may have been feeling as though for some time you've been pushing against a brick wall, I guess, for want of a better description. It says here, protect the fruit of your labours, prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead, and environmental conservation is also part of the aspect of this card. The 8 of winter and the 5 of winter really kind of energize, if you like, this card's meaning as well. Both of these talk about, the 8 in particular is the 8 of swords, which talks about traditionally a bit of a self-exiled tension that is rising from within, some sort of anxiety that might be brought about by worry, you know, can I do this, or can I achieve this, or what will happen if, or what if. It's the actual what if scenario, which is very broad, and when you're so broad, you create anxiety. The 5 of winter, or the 5 of swords in the traditional reading, often talks about feeling a little bit left out or shut out of a community, feeling a little bit unwell, sometimes like having a flu. Even sometimes it can represent falling over, so hurting bones, wrists or ankles. So I often say when this card comes out, be careful where you're walking and make sure you watch as you take steps. You know, don't go rushing into everything. Take your time, which was the Unity card. There's no need to rush. So some of the messages she's written specifically for the cards are, especially for this 8 of swords, which is a bit of internal anxiety. It says, you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself. Thinking that you're powerless when you're not, and a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. This one says, walk away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness and something that's not worth the effort. There may be a turning point for you in June at which you realize some of the things you've been doing might not be serving you. Some of the people that you might have been spending time on may not be worthy of it. And that's why these three here seem to go together. It could be that this could be around work or work projects as well. It might even be a project you'd been assigned to do, or a task, or something that was headed in a certain direction could very well change direction. It's not all bad. It's about finding which way to go now and not being anxious about it and not beating yourself up, and being prepared to move into the new direction that is opening the doors for you. And once again, this could be because of the whole fact that we're in the middle of the eclipse season, when we know that plenty of movement and structure and change will be coming forth. The 5 of winter can sometimes mean a time period where we find our finances a little bit tight. But remember, you received this first card, the 9 of Cups over here, which is the wish card, and then the 10 of Cups, which talks about money coming in. You've got more about the positive aspects of money or finances or feeling loved and nurtured and protected in real terms, and that they were early cards delivered, than you have here, even though there are 3 of them. I think this is about how you deal with the prospects or the change that may come, whether it's around work or career or a personal endeavour or relationships. So with those there, let's see what other cards pop up for you. We'll put them aside. What is in store for them, or what would you like them to focus on, meditate with, understand? Giving and receiving. And another word for giving and receiving is balance. And that was one of your major arcana cards, with the unity and the balance really, and the giving and receiving. Now the giving and receiving again could well be giving in terms of giving time, emotions, support, nurture, but receiving is receiving something in again. So I do feel that for some of you there's a cyclical event taking place that will bring about balance or unity, and that some of you may well be receiving something. So remember that these are cycles too. And in this card, she talks about breath. The entire universe operates in cycles similar to your inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale or inhale, you become out of rhythm with the universe. For optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation. So I'm getting the message quite strongly there for you guys about breathing as well. Breathing is a very powerful way of gaining control with our emotions, especially if we're feeling any emotional turmoil. We can do deep breathing exercises. We can engage in yoga, meditation. All of those are connected with the art of breathing, and they can be very, very powerful for our body, mind, and spirit. Let your past go, and we've said that you were coming to the point at which there was going to be moving into a new corridor for you. So they're also pointing that out, to let the past go and move into the future. You know, not hold on to the past. There's nothing to be concerned with at this point, because if we live in the past, we hold on to, or we create depression. Anxiety is more about looking into the future and feeling that what if, being uncertain. But to relieve depression, we let the past go. So the next one is joy. Now, traditionally, this card, it actually means, as much as that is a beautiful card to look at, imagine riding or swimming with the dolphins and angels. I couldn't imagine much more joy myself. But the card is actually saying to you, remember to bring joy into your life. That it's very important to give yourself time to enjoy everything, to take time out from the worries or the stresses of the daily life that we're in, to enjoy peace and harmony in nature and love of life, and the harmony of friendships, and the gratitude during the day, that you take the time to just be grateful for the positives of a day. And sometimes people say, I can't find any positives. I didn't have a good day. I've had a rotten, miserable day. I know that can be the case, and it can be the case, it could have been the case a lot in the last year. But there is always something to be grateful for, even if it's the smallest thing, like the sun shining, or the blue sky, or the birds in the trees, or being able to pass a smile on to someone else, or receiving a smile from someone else, or even being able to go to bed in a bed at night, or to, if you didn't have a bed at night, to even be able to go and have a night's sleep. We can be grateful for any number of different things in life. They don't always have to be massive achievements or great, amazing things to be grateful for. So that can help to bring joy in a very simplistic and quick and easy way, which relieves stress and burden. So from this other deck, you've got the Holy Spirit with you, which is saying peacefulness, which is what we were talking a little bit before about breath and meditation and yoga, and just taking some downtime and replenishing the mind and the body, and having faith that, you know, things will pan out the way you're wanting. Or if you have a goal in mind and you're trying to bring something into this realm or this timeline or dimension, have faith that it's going to be achieved, and that's what the wish card was at the very beginning in many ways. It's your wishes will be fulfilled. And if you understand that at a certain level, that creates faith. And faith in its turn is the cycle of giving and receiving, because everything is a cycle and it all comes around. So just one more from this deck for Scorpio to finish off your reading for June of 2021. Well, 2 came out. We have animals, St. Francis of Assisi, and travel, St. Christopher. Safe travel for you. So travel hasn't been on that many people's minds, but I think it is coming back to us now. Even if it's not distant travel, it can be travel within your own country or just for summer travel and holidays. Some of you may be planning travels around. So St. Christopher is here to take with you for safe travel if you feel you need it at any time. And, do uplift it. Take a photo of that and put it on your phone and take him with you. Take his energy of safety with you so that you have reduced anxiety if any of you are traveling for work or for holidays. With the animals, St. Francis of Assisi, it's very interesting that in the room at the moment, I have 2 dogs. We have Stevie and Lulu. Lulu is a little puppy. And then behind my computer, I have Nacho, who's also a kitten. So there's not just me in my office doing this. There's the 3 animals as well. So their animal energy might be being portrayed through to the video. They're all calmly sound asleep in their little beds. Actually, I must take a photo for you of Lulu because she's half out of her box and half on the floor.